Good morning, class. I just want to do a quick videos on the topic that we discussed this week. Everyone actually got this wrong, so there must be some misconceptions on how to do this problem. First of all, there's two parts of the problems. The first one is sketch a the angles, rotations. So one thing you need to keep in mind is if you rotate clockwise, I mean counterclockwise, it has a positive sign. If we rotate it clockwise, and that'll be a negative. So in this scenario, see the negative here, so that means we need to rotate it in the clockwise directions. And another thing to keep in mind is this is in radians. Okay, so the fact you need to keep in mind is pi radian, right? So pi radians is equivalent to 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. So the quick way to do is when you do this, you're gonna have to know where is the pi. Okay, so pi is 180 degrees. So if you go clockwise in this scenario, right? So where is pi? Pi is exactly over here. This is the pi radians, or it's at 180 degrees. Now, if we go clockwise, and if your terminal side is here, this will be the negative 180 degrees or negative pi radians. Okay, so that's that. Now, in our case, we have pi negative 5 pi over 3. So what you need to do is you look at pi over 3 first, and then you count from there. So what is pi thirds? So think about this from here as you rotate, this is negative pi, right? Now, negative pi over third, so that'd be a third of it, right? So what's a third of it? So you kind of cut the pi or cut the lower half of the circle into 3 equal parts, which means you're going to end up with this is 1, right? So this is 2. So you see that I cut the lower half of the circle into 3 parts. So that means over here, it's going to be a third. I can extend it on the other side there. And then there's the other side as well. Now you're going to have the full circle into 6 pieces. Now each of these is pi third. So I'll go over here. This is pi over 3, right? So if you go over here, this angle, I'm talking about this angle here, if you're looking at now, this is 1, this is 2, so that'll be 2 pi over 3. Because we go in the clockwise direction, so that'll be negative, negative pi third, negative 2 pi over 3. Over here is negative 3 pi over 3, right? Or negative pi. And then you go here, it'll be negative 4 pi over 3. And then here is negative 5 pi over 3. If you come back to here, that is negative 6 pi over 2 over 3. And that's the same as negative 2 pi, right? So that's 1 revolution. Negative 2 pi is 360 degrees, right? So 2 pi radian is the same as 360 degrees that we're familiar with. Now, the second part is we asked to find the measure of the coterminal angles, okay? So what is coterminal angles? The coterminal angles are the angles that have the same measures, okay? Now notice that coterminal angle will differ by 360 degrees. So for example, if you are thinking, okay, so where is negative 5 pi over 3? So the answer for our problem here is this, right? So that is your answer is negative 5 pi over 3, and that is your terminal side. And the angle is actually, the angle we are consider is this. You're going around almost complete the 360, but no, right? So that's you go. So this is negative 5 pi over 3. Now, coterminal angles are the angle that end up with the same coterminal side. You can think of this as, we are asked to find between 0 and 2 pi, so that's has to be positive. So positive, we go clockwise directions. So the coterminal angle will be this angle right here if you go counterclockwise. So what is this measure? Well, don't forget that we already decided we cut it into 3 pieces, right? So each of these from here to here, that is this right here. That is a third of half the circle. So that 1/3 pi or pi over 3. So your coterminal angle is pi thirds, right? So if you go clockwise, here is pi over 3. That is 2 pi over 3. That's 3 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and 6 pi over 3. But because we want coterminal, so it has to land on the same terminal side. So here it's pi over 3 radians at your answers. Okay. For example, number 2. Okay, number 2, again, you just look at the pi radian, okay? So pi radian is, again, 180 degrees. This time is positive. Positive, so we go counterclockwise. So look at the denominator first. What is pi fourth? Right, pi is here, right? So the whole thing, half of the half circle is pi. P is half of it, it's pi over 2, right? Half of it. And then he will be pi over 4 because half of pi half. That is pi fourth. That is pi fourth. And then if you go here, right here is 2 pi over 4. And then this is 3. Right? Again, you can extend it all the way to the other side. And now you should see that we have like how many pieces? 1 pi over 4. This is 2 pi over 4. This is 3 pi over 4. And here's 4 pi over 4, 4 pieces, right? 4, which is the same as pi. This is a 5 pi over 4. This is 6. 6 pi over 4 you can reduce to 3 pi over 2. And here is 7 pi over 4. So the angle 7 pi over 4 is this angle right here. We go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is here. Here's 7 pi over 4. Okay. Now notice the coterminal side is, the terminal side is this side, is the terminal side. Your initial size is always this, okay, the positive x-axis. So that's kind of sweep out the angle of 7 pi over 4. Now, in order to get the coterminal angle, that is between negative 2 pi and 0. So this time is the negative angle. So you just go the opposite directions. Instead of rotate counterclockwise, we rotate clockwise, right? From here to here. So what is this angle? You see the terminal side is the same. So what's the measure of this angle? Don't forget that each of these, we cut it into pi fourth, right? So that length is pi fourth, right? So each of those is pi fourth. So that's why I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But now I'm going to go the opposite direction. So that'd be negative, and that is negative pi fourth. So your answer for B is negative pi over 4. Okay, I hope that you get an idea by now. And let me do one more. All right, so here's the third one. This negative 2 pi over 3 is kind of similar. Let me do the last, okay. So the last one is similar to the second. Um, again, quickly, where is 3 pi over 4? Right, so he is pi. You divide it into 4 pieces. One, okay, so 2, 3, okay. So that is 1 pi over 4. This is 2 pi over 4. That is 3 pi over 4 right there. So the angle 3 pi over 4 is this clockwise, oh no, counterclockwise. So that's why it's positive. If you want the coterminal, we can go and find the other one in the negative directions. In this case, is this. So what's the measures? Right, so don't forget now you're gonna have what this is also pi 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're gonna count. Going from here to here, you go, this is 1 pi over 4, this is 2 pi over 4, you have 3 pi over 4, you have 4 pi over 4, then is 5 pi over 4. So this angle over here is 5 pi over 4, but in the negative directions. So we have negative 5 pi over 4 as the coterminal angles. Okay, negative 5 pi over 4. Right, so this is how we do the coterminal. Now notice that you can always do this without the graph. Coterminal angle is noted that's off, we can add 360, right? If I give you the degrees, okay, this is a 30 degree. Can you give me a coterminal angle 30 degrees? Well, if you have 30 degrees, it's actually, it'll be here, right? So this is 30 degrees. And then I can go around it more than once. Okay, so if you want to do, let's say, what's a coterminal 30 degrees? Well, I use 30 degrees this time and make it easy. That's in degree mode. Well, this angle right here, if you go around 1 full revolution back to here. So what is the measure of this angle? So 30 plus 360, right? You go around 360 plus 1. So that one would be 30 plus 360, and that should be 390. Right? If you want another coterminal, you can go another route back to the same coterminal side. So then you're adding another 360, and you have 750 degrees. That is also a coterminal with 30 degrees. If you want the negative, then you go the other direction. It's here, right? That direction. But this is actually, you go from 30 and then you go around 360 at the opposite direction. You subtract 360. And that gives you negative 330 degrees. That is also called coterminal angle of 30 degrees. Now in radian, you do the same, but 360 is 2 pi. So if I give you something like this case, it is 3 pi over 4. What's the coterminal angles of 3 pi over 4? All you need to do is add 360 or subtract 360, right? But 360 is the same as 2 pi, so you're adding 2 pi. And if you have this one, you have to convert to fractions, right? So that is 3 pi over 4 plus, that is 8 pi over 4. And 8 pi over 4 is what? That's 11 pi over 4. So that is the coterminal of the 3 pi over 4 is 11 pi over 4. Now notice the answer I gave you earlier is not that one because we're looking at the negative directions angle, right? So this is 3 pi over 4 here. And 11 pi over 4 is this one. Okay, go around full circle one more time. This will be 11 pi over 4. But the answer we got is actually the other way around. You go this way. So this angle is a negative. All you need to do is take 3 pi over 4 and you subtract 362 pi, or 3 pi over 4 minus 11 pi over 4. 8 pi over 4. I mean, 3 pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4. That gives you negative 5 pi over 4, which is what I gave you earlier as the answer. You see down here, that's negative 5 pi over 4. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And you can do the other one, the third problem that I did not do, and see if you understand. If you have any comment, you can leave it under the video I posted.